Philanthrocapitalism is about the different forces in society, government, business, social entrepreneurs, and above all philanthropists coming together around solving society's problems and doing it in a new way, which is about really achieving results by bringing best practice from the business world and from the entrepreneurial world, as well as the traditional people who've made it their mission to do good in society. So it's about doing good in a way that's actually about results rather than about feeling better about yourself because you're trying to do something right. It's about bringing the head and the heart together around solutions for the world's biggest problems. One of the really interesting examples at the moment is how the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has got together with a number of the world's governments and organizations like the World Health Organization to attract a vast amount of money towards vaccination of people in the developing world. So a lot of people are now being given basic immunization against some of the main diseases that kill poor people. And they've brought down the cost of those vaccinations by a very large amount because they've managed to marshal a lot of capital behind innovating and behind getting the companies that wouldn't otherwise have produced these vaccinations to do them at a very low cost. So that's one very notable example. I think the US has a schizophrenic view to the growth that's happening in developing countries like India and China. India and China are both taking jobs from America in a way, and so that seems very threatening. On the other hand, there is an awareness that actually China, and particularly, is providing a lot of the money that America is using to spend and enjoy a high quality of life. So a lot of treasury bonds are bought by the Chinese. And there is an underlying recognition that when countries like India and China come out of poverty, the world as a whole gets wealthier, which means we all win. It's a win-win situation. And so the next 5 years are going to be about adjusting to a world where America is not the dominant economy anymore, but it's still a very important economy. And it has to find a more satisfactory relationship with these emerging economies. And that's going to mean a bit of give and a bit of take and on both sides. But I think there will be ultimately a better relationship between America and China and India because it will become a more equal relationship. And I think gradually the public will understand in America that it's not a threat, fundamentally, that America, if it sorts out its own domestic issues, which are largely about retraining the labor force so that people can do jobs that aren't done more cheaply overseas, this will be very much a win-win. We're in a new world which is very dynamic, where there's a lot of potential to innovate. And if you do innovate successfully, because of the global economy being so big and things spreading so fast, you can get very, very rich very fast. And I think that system is a very good system in many ways because it actually creates a lot of wealth that we all benefit from. But it does leave this situation where you're getting people who are fantastically wealthy. I'm less worried about that system than I'm worried about a system that you might find in, say, Russia after the fall of the Soviet Union, where a small group of individuals basically seized control of all the country's assets, the oil and so forth, and made themselves very rich in a way that didn't benefit the population as a whole. So I think we have to differentiate between those two models. But the model which is, I'm going to create an innovation that's benefiting everybody, and in the process I get very rich, I can't see a real problem with that. It just comes down to sort of sheer jealousy if we don't like the people who win from that situation. That's very different from a situation where people are getting rich by stealing from us.